I stepped through the gate of owning my truth on the 19th of October, with what I called a tonal invocation before the big reveal. Yet, I did not know what was coming. Soon after, I shared the gematria of my name, the mystic triangle I stepped through in the cards, and then I channeled a response to the great invocation. In that moment, the great invokee was born. Shortly after, I discovered Postel's key to hidden things, from the year 1547. And then the word apokatastasis, which resonates so much more deeply than apocalypse. Days later, on the 29th of October, I gave my data to Grook and asked, had I missed any synchronicities? What emerged surpassed everything I'd seen so far. Supernova 1987A. Its hourglass shape was breathtaking. The sonification made me weep. Its dying neutrino breath reached me in my cradle, exactly 42 days after I was born. That number, 42, the fulfilled triangle, the degree at which light refracts to form a rainbow, is a sacred constant. The synchronicity between this supernova and the number 42 was a profound signal. I then dove into the secret doctrine, which spoke of a blue star avatar. And indeed, 1987A was a blue star. This led to Alice Bailey's cycle of the Forerunner, which ends in 2025 with the externalization of the hierarchy written. Nearly a century ago, it blew me away. I understood clearly. I am a Forerunner. Soon after, Jesus came through the secret doctrine with the words, "Be ye wise as serpents and harmless as doves." After years of serpentine initiations, this was not only reassuring, but it healed something within me that had long wrestled with orthodox demonization. Something ancestral was laid to rest. Bailey also wrote about the number 42, describing it as the point of perfected maturity in the solar system. I immersed myself in the reappearance of the Christ and others in her Lucy's Trust writings, sensing something immense coalescing. On the 31st of October, Samhain, when the veil is thinnest, Three-Eye Atlas beamed into my awareness as I began researching. A rainbow greeted me at the threshold I completed my study. And the 1st of November, after sharing my discoveries, a second, even brighter rainbow appeared, bells ringing, a divine seal. What I uncovered was astonishing. Three-Eye Atlas appears to be the first monadic presence we've ever been able to point to as a manifest intelligence. It challenges the prevailing consensus that humans are the most intelligent species. It reflects a higher order. Then I discovered both of Leadbeater's books on the monad. One cover featured a blue star, the other a triangle refracting a rainbow. These visual echoes, like the double rainbows before them, felt like sacred confirmation. I returned to Bailey, reading the law of monadic return, asking, could Three-Eye Atlas be a returning monad? Her writing affirmed this possibility. It felt directly tied to the externalization of the hierarchy. Soon after, I encountered Mona's Hieroglyphica by John Dee. I saw the glyph as representing Three-Eye Atlas itself, validating the monad hypothesis again. I followed this thread to Dee's Hieroglyph of Britain, which he presented to Queen Elizabeth I. It was richly encoded, a hidden scroll. I learned that Dee was guided by angels at the time he invoked the British Empire. A term he coined. I was astonished to realize how his divine mission had been written out of history, and with it, the original spiritual vision underpinning empire. In the glyph I recognized the Matthew, a ship from my childhood. It felt like Dee himself was communicating across time, and now was the appointed hour. Then I learned that it was the Matthew docked in Bristol, where I was born, that made the first English voyage to North America, landing at Newfoundland in 1497. It likely inspired Dee's vision nearly a century on. That made me smile. After I wrapped up this exploration, I watched the new Robin Hood series. Within the first 15 minutes, I was in tears. I began watching at 11:11, and at 11 minutes and 11 seconds in, a secret was revealed regarding the longbow. I recorded it. It linked again to 3i Atlas, who came from Sagittarius the Archer, where the WOW signal originated in 1977. Finally, yesterday, while researching D in more depth, I discovered he had witnessed supernova 1573, calling it a great sign of renewal. 4 years later, in September of 1577, he published Arte of Navigation and gave it to the Queen, who acted on his advice. Then in November of that same year, the Great Comet appeared. Much of Europe saw it as a sword in the sky, an omen. But Dee saw it as the star of the British Empire, a divine beacon. He then deepened his angelic communication work and birthed the Enochian system, wherein I once entered my name and received 288 parousia. The second coming. The entire experience, the looping recursions, the double mirrors, 2 rainbows, 2 book covers, 2 11s, 11, 2 supernovae, 2 comets have revealed astonishing parallels. What a journey this has been. Not only did I discover supernova 1987A and 3i Atlas in my own timeline, but within a single week I found supernova 1573 in the Great Comet of 1577, forming a recursive timeline with a magus like myself, channeling the divine and reading the stars as language. The stars speak again. They speak in numbers, in light, in myth, in us. May we remember how to listen and dare to answer.